Hi, welcome to Vegetarian Kitchen. My name is Arnie. Today I want to show you the basics of home canning. Okay, I have some tomatoes and some peaches here, and I want to show you how to get them into jars and can them and preserve them so you can use them in the winter. A lot of us have gardens, and when tomatoes get ripe, it's like they're all ripe at once, and you can't possibly use them. You're leaving them on your neighbor's doorstep at midnight, hoping that they'll take them off your hands and use them. Anyway, so after today's show, you'll be able to do basic preserving of fruits and tomatoes. And who knows, if you get to be really good at it with some practice, you'll want to enter your pickles and your canned tomatoes and your peaches in the state fair. And so then you'll need to look like I do. Okay, so that's why I'm dressed like I am. I'm ready for Pueblo. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is take these tomatoes and these peaches, and what I do is I drop them into boiling water. Okay, and what this does, I have two kinds. I have some plum tomatoes, pear tomatoes, and your regular, what would you call them? Your regular salad tomatoes. Okay, so I take the peaches and I take the tomatoes and I put them into boiling water for a few minutes, 2-3 minutes. And what this does is it cooks the skin. It cooks just underneath the skin and enables you to take the skin off the tomato and the peach without a whole lot of hassle. It's just nearly impossible to peel a tomato and have it. You just can't do it with a peeler or with a knife. So what I'll do is I'll look for cracks in the skin of the tomato. I don't see any right now. But while those are blanching, I want to talk a little bit about this type of canning. What we're doing here is a hot water bath canning. Okay, and you can do that with fruits and vegetables that have a high acid content. Okay, tomatoes have a high acid content. Peaches, most of your fruits and berries, those things have acid in them, and you don't need to pressure cook them. Today I'm not doing any pressure cooking, so you can also do jellies, relishes, pickles. All those things have a lot of acid. The reason is that one of the scary parts of home canning, one of the scary aspects of that is botulism. Botulism spores are everywhere. They're in the soil. They're in your food. Let me check these guys. There'll be a little bit. Okay, the spores themselves are not harmful in any way, but what happens is they grow. When they grow, they produce toxins that can make you very sick. So the two conditions they need are anaerobic conditions, which is a low oxygen, which you have in a sealed jar. There's no access to oxygen there. It's a low oxygen thing. And also they need low acid. Okay, so if you have tomatoes, which are an acidic vegetable, fruit, they're a berry. Okay, anyway, they have a lot of acid. Different fruits do. Okay, you can put those in a jar. The acid will prevent the botulism spores from reproducing and killing you. Okay, so you still need to cook these in a hot water bath. You still need to get a good seal, but you don't need to worry if you have a fruit or a vegetable that has a lot of acid. You don't need to worry about it. These are almost ready. Canning was invented for Napoleon during one of his campaigns. I'm not sure which one. It might have been when he went to Russia. He was looking for a way to feed his army, okay, and he wanted a better way to preserve foods other than they had drying, they had salting to preserve foods. That was the two ways that preserved food. But he wanted something better, and so he offered a reward for someone who could invent a new way of preserving foods. And a clever cook that I don't know his name, I'm sure some historian does, invented canning, canned foods. So that's where it came from. It's a relatively recent technology. And also, this is a nice shirt, but it's hot in here now with all this boiling water. Anyway, I've cooked the tomatoes and the peaches for a few minutes, okay? And I don't see any. Sometimes you get a crack in the skin, and that will signal when they're ready to, oh, here, I don't know if you can see, that's hot. I don't know if you can see it, but if you can get a shot of this, you can see where the skin here is cracked, and it will peel fairly easily, okay? I don't see too many more with this crack on them. I don't see any of the peaches with that, but you can see. All I really need to do is I'll just take this and rub it. See how the skin comes right off? It just peels, just slips right off. It's hot though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute, let these peaches and tomatoes cool down, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to take the peel off, how to pack them in the jars, make a syrup for the peaches, and do the hot water bath. Okay, so we'll be back in a second. Okay, now my peaches and my tomatoes have cooled off enough so that I can handle them, and I want to show you how to, first of all, peel them, put them in the jars, and then we'll get going. But I want to talk just a little bit about the jars and the lids. You know, I have several kinds of canning jars here. This is a nice fancy one for jelly, and I have one this is a used mayonnaise jar, which works well. But the thing you want to do is you want to get new lids. Okay, the lids have a rubber around the edge, okay, and that seals to the glass, okay, and that holds in, that makes an airtight seal, okay. So you don't really want to reuse these lids for canning. You could use them for something else if you're storing something dried, like if you have rice in this jar, it's fine to reuse the lid. But you want to use new lids, and actually you really should use new rings to close it. You screw it down, and this part of the ring holds the lid and presses it onto the glass so that you get a good seal. Okay, the other thing is that when I take this lid, screw this down here, when your jar cools, then the top of this lid will be indented, okay? It'll be, what's that, concave, all right? If you have your jars canned, you cool them off, and this lid, you can hear that. Can you hear that noise? If you do it and it's doing this, then you just take this jar, you can open it up, throw the stuff away, okay? You can keep the jar, but don't take a chance that, don't use this stuff anyway, just throw it out, okay? So that's what you want to notice with that, okay? So, all right. Now, I've taken some of these tomatoes and I've peeled them already, okay? Every once in a while, these plum tomatoes are nice, they're ripe. What I do is take a knife and I just run the point in here. This one has no cracks.